Welcome back to another episode of Origins by the Esports Awards, where we chat to your favorite players, creators, and business owners in our beloved gaming industry. My name is Barney Banks, and today we enter the realm of mobile gaming as we peel back the layers of one of the most celebrated content creators in the space. It is, of course, all the way from Sweden, Panda. Panda, how you doing, mate?
What's up, man? I'm all good. How are you?
I'm good. It's been a while since I've last seen you, so it's really nice to have this opportunity to actually have a catch up. But you know what? To start things off, I have to say, correct me if I'm wrong, but Sweden, a location that doesn't exactly scream mobile gaming. Am I right? Am I wrong to think that it's mainly PC and console? Talk to me about why it's mobile for you.
That is very, very true. Like, I have probably, well, I've convinced a lot of my friends to start playing mobile, but before that, I don't think I've had any friends that actually played mobile, like PUBG and stuff like that. It was only me. And it's a long story how that started. But yeah, in Sweden, mobile gaming isn't that big. I feel like it's catching on now, though, with the kids. But yeah, it's mainly PC and like Xbox and those platforms.
Yeah, what was the reason for mobile for you? What got its hooks into you? Was it PUBG Mobile specifically, or was it just mobile gaming as a whole for you?
So it is a long story, okay? But it
We've
started
got
like
time,
when I was in
Panda.
high.
We've got time.
We got time. That's perfect. Okay, well, it pretty much started in high school. When you're on your, you've had like Spanish or math or whatever, and in between those lessons, you're playing with your phone. So I found a game very similar to Clash of Clans. It was called Castle Clash, and I was playing that pretty much every single day just for fun. And then one day, I told these stories many times, but I just posted like a few videos on that, and that really caught traction. They got like a lot of views. And at the time, I was already doing YouTube. So, like, me becoming a mobile gaming was actually mainly because of YouTube, because YouTube really loved mobile gaming videos. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm doing this now. So that's how that started.
What were you doing on YouTube before you then started uploading the mobile gaming stuff? Like, what was your channel used for?
So I've been like making videos since I was born, it feels like. I've always been making videos. So I had a trampoline when I was a kid. And back in the early YouTube stage, it was only like parkour and free running. So I
I
used to
remember.
make these parkour and free running videos back in the days when I was like since I was like 8 until like 16 or something like that. And I think the most viewed video I ever got was 15,000 views, which I was so proud of. I was so proud. I showed my friends. I'm like, look at this. I got 15,000 views. And the video wasn't even that good, but uh, yeah, but like I said, then I made that concert class video, and I think it got like close to like 30,000 views in just a few days. And I'm like, okay, I'm clearly doing the wrong types of videos for views. So I'm like, okay, let's try this. And it just really kept on going. But yeah, to answer your question, I did a lot of flips and I hurt myself multiple times on camera. And that's still on YouTube if someone wants to find it. But it only got like
Almost
100 views. It's hard to find.
sounds like the origin stories of Jackass. But you managed to find your feet in Castle Clash, which is awesome. And obviously, you dipped your toe into the gaming space on YouTube. But then PUBG is really where you found your feet, right? It's where you found more longevity. But what was it about PUBG Mobile that resonated with you?
So the thing is, when PUBG was released on PC, I started playing it immediately when it was released on PC. Just I can't remember the exact date of the two different games being released, but either way, I started playing the PC version immediately, and I fell in love with it. I really did. Like I played it. I really was addicted to the game. I played it with my friends every single day. I think it was like, okay, at this hour we play PUBG. And funny story, PUBG Mobile gets released. I don't download it. I don't play it. I'm like, nah, I want to play it on PC. I never like had any thoughts about doing videos on PUBG Mobile or PUBG. I'm not sure if I ever made a PUBG PC video, which is kind of funny because at the time I was doing Mobile Legends videos. I was the biggest Mobile Legends creator, and that was kind of like my plan. I'm just gonna keep doing Mobile Legends, but at the side I was playing PUBG. And I think it takes until season 3 for PUBG Mobile. I have a friend. he was kind of inspired by me. He was like, okay, I kind of want to start making mobile videos as well because he saw my success with it. And he was like, PUBG Mobile is becoming pretty big. I'm like, is it? I'm like, I had no idea. I'm like, I was playing PUBG every single day, but I had no idea about how big PUBG Mobile was, even though I was a mobile creator and I played PUBG every single day. No idea. So after he said that, okay, I'm like, let me check it out. So I googled or searched on YouTube for PUBG Mobile to find content, and I saw, I'm like, it is getting views, and like some of the videos were getting more views than what I was getting on like my Mobile Legends videos, and I at the time had 2-3 million like subscribers, and the people which were posting PUBG Mobile content had like maybe 5,000 subscribers. I'm like, it is that big, huh? Bro, I'm talking so much right now, but
No, it's good. It's good. It's nice to see like how it kind of evolved, but also from your perspective, because a lot of people probably don't know this. They just saw you transition from Mobile Legends to PUBG Mobile, but you're probably one of the reasons that PUBG Mobile on YouTube grew so much because having a large creator step into the space probably elevated a lot of people around you. Did you immediately go into like collaborating with people, or was it just you by yourself creating PUBG Mobile videos and then obviously the traction came with it?
so because I was so big on Mobile Legends already, um, I asked the biggest YouTuber at the time, which was Lavinio. He had, I think, 40,000 subscribers or something like that on PUBG Mobile at the time. And like I said, I had 2-3 million. So I just sent him like an Instagram, like a DM, like, what up? Do you want to like make a video? So I think my second or third video I ever posted on my PUBG Mobile channel is with him. But I also like, so I made a separate channel for PUBG Mobile, but at my Mobile Legends channel, I also started uploading some PUBG content. Like I did, let's say I made a lot of videos back in the days, but let's say I made like 10 to 12 Mobile Legends videos in a week. Out of those 12, I tried to make maybe two PUBG Mobile videos. So I slowly started like transitioning from Mobile Legends, or mainly it was just like I wanted to post more PUBG Mobile content because it was growing and I thought it was so much fun. So I was just integrating it to that channel. And then I made a completely separate channel where I started posting like only PUBG Mobile content. Now I
Given the
feel like I
amount that you're
answered a
playing,
completely different
but
question.
no, but given the amount that you're playing the game, like obviously you're transitioning into PUBG Mobile. You know the game is growing, it's improving, and you're like leaning into its popularity and obviously helping the game grow online as well from a creator perspective. Did you actually ever consider like playing competitively, or was it always just like for fun and you made like fun videos?
So the thing is, like, I'm a YouTuber down to my core. Like, I always loved making videos, and I've always loved like YouTube. So like being an esports player, I feel like almost never was like an option for me. Mainly because like, how am I gonna have time to make the videos if I'm an esports player? Because I know you pretty much just play every single day. However, that was pretty much what I did either way. But yeah, but I also played on iPad, which was not allowed for esports. So like as fast as I knew that, so I'm like, my career as an esports player is never gonna happen because I play on iPad and I don't want to change that. Like the only thing which could potentially have made me think about becoming an esports player is like if some kind of a org or whatever contacted me, which is, I can tell you a small funny story. I'm not sure if this has ever gone on to the public, but me and three other PUBG Mobile YouTubers actually got contacted by FaZe to make a esports team,
Oh
but it never
wow.
happened. Yeah.
Damn, I think that you're right though in the fact that as an esports team, it's a very different approach. Your approach has to be that you're scrimming every day and training, as opposed to playing the game for fun. You're playing to win. So like your mindset has to change, and I feel like you've probably done the right thing because it sounds like what you've said. You're a YouTuber down to your core. I feel like you might lose a bit of love for the game if you're being kind of encouraged to play it every day, but from a different perspective to what you're normally playing. But whatever you're doing, it's working, man. Let's just be quite frank. I'm going to throw some stats out there because I've done a little bit of stalking of yours over the past 24 hours. Not to be weird or
Okay. Okay.
anything, But I seen
Oh.
some stats that I didn't quite believe when I first saw them. Across 3 channels on YouTube, you've got 47 million subscribers, okay? With over 17 billion views. So I kind of need a
Damn.
strategic answer from you because this is what my question is. Do you stream or record and then segment up your content so that it sits across your different channels? Because what is the schedule like? Because you pump out so much content for so many different channels on so many different platforms. I kind of want to know what your content strategy is on a weekly basis because it's got to be mind blowing.
So we used to have structure, and I feel like that with time has kind of just faded away. Now it's just like make videos. It's like the only mindset I have. But like, so the three separate channels, they are not really connected in a way. Like we have the Panda channel, which is mainly is PUBG Mobile, and then we have the Panda.m4, which was the Mobile Legends channel, which I don't really
Ah,
post a lot on these days anymore, because I'm not really sure what I gonna post there. Because on that channel, it's like I've started with Console Clash, then Mobile Legends, then PUBG, and then transitioned to making like in real life content. Like it's just a bunch of different content that I've been posting on that channel, and now I feel like I have an audience which is from so many different areas that regardless what I post, it's only gonna like a few people is gonna enjoy that. So for that channel right now, it's like okay, we're not really doing much for that channel. And then for the Panda Short channel, it's completely separate, and that has been like the focus now for uh, well past 2 3 years or something because that just popped off. Like we went from 0 to 23 million in just like well a few years, 3 4 years, something like that, which is just absolutely insane. So what we do there is like we make a lot of shorts. So we record for that channel almost like 4 times a week. Like it's crazy.
and
And
how
then I
many
even have
videos out of
more
those
channels.
with those 4 recordings? Like how many videos will you get out of each recording?
It's actually very frustrating how few videos we get. Like we can record
Okay.
for an hour. Like if you have seen the channels, it's like mostly trying to laugh videos. And we can record for an hour, and from that hour we get maybe like 7 or 8 like shorts,
Okay.
which is it's
That's
good,
that's
but like
still
for an
pretty
hour,
good.
it's
So
still
like
pretty
you're
good. But
so for your shorts channel, you're chucking out something like 20 videos a week.
the goal is, yeah, well, the goal is pretty much 14 to 21. That's the goal.
Wow. I mean, that's
Yeah.
if anyone here that's listening or watching understands the amount of time and effort it takes to make videos or even make long form videos on YouTube, to churn out 20 videos a week just for one of your channels, and then you have other stuff that you do, that is wild. Yeah, that is
It's
wild.
wild.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
could never do
it,
that by myself. So
but in social media, right, whether it's long form or short form, your audience growth typically happens in waves, right, or in pops. When did you
mm.
experience your first surge in audience growth? Because earlier on, you mentioned Castle Clash. You mentioned that its popularity helped you realize gaming was what to do. But then you kind of jumped and went, so I had like 2 or 3 million subscribers doing Mobile Legends. And so we missed a
Yeah.
big gap. What was your first like
Yeah.
pop in audience growth?
So I feel like I've had that multiple times, and I feel like I'm so blessed because I've experienced that so many times. I just like all of a sudden the subscribers just literally is going like this, and I'm like, okay, whatever I'm doing right now, it's correct. So let's just keep doing this and push out it even more. Go even harder. I feel like this is okay. Let's split it up into 4 different segments. So the first one was actually when I was playing Castle Clash. I think I had 12,000 subscribers. And then I grew from 12,000 to 15,000 in I think 14 days, which at the time I was like,
Wow.
this is insane. Absolutely insane. This was back in 2016 or 2017, like way back. And then the second time I would say I felt it like really exploding was during the Mobile Legends area. I think I went from 180,000 no, 1.8 million subscribers to 2 million in literally like it was like a week or something. So this is 200,000 just like that. I remember I was recording the Social Blade when the subscriber was going up. I'm like, what is happening? And I can't really remember why it was happening like that. I feel like I was posting so much, and or if it was a specific topic, I can't remember. And then the third time was when I was starting playing PUBG Mobile. This is probably the one which I feel like the craziest about, because for me it didn't make sense, because like I was huge on Mobile Legends back in 2018. Like I was really big. And like I said, I grew 200,000 in like a week or something like that. Probably closer to 2 or 3 weeks. Well, regardless, then I started playing PUBG Mobile, and I started posting videos daily on my PUBG Mobile channel. I can't remember how many subscribers I had at the time, but I remember I was sitting in the car driving from Stockholm to another city, and my younger sister was sitting next to me. And David Dobrik at the time was huge. Like, if you know what David Dobrik was back in the days, he was the biggest one, like the biggest YouTuber, because he was growing so fast. And my sister really liked his content. And I'm like, yeah, I know he's really big and I know he's growing fast. So I checked his social blade. And I think in a month, he gained like 500,000 subscribers, which was at the time really insane. Like, this was before shorts and all that. And then I checked mine. I think I had 700,000 subscribers in the past 28 days. And I'm like, it really put it in perspective. I'm like, this is absolutely insane. I'm like, what's going on? And I'm like, okay, well, it just motivated me even more to just keep pushing this. And then the last time, which is even crazier, I feel like we just went from 3,000 subscribers to about 200,000 subscribers, and then 700,000 subscribers until this one, which happened, I think, 2 years ago, something like that, on my Panda short channel. And so when shorts was really new on YouTube, it was exploding a lot, like getting a lot of subscribers and views from everywhere. So I figured out like some shorts you could make which would gain a lot of subscribers. So I made a few of those. And in 1 month, I wish I knew the exact number, but around 4 million subscribers in one single month. And yeah, I was like, bro, how could I ever top this? Like, every time I felt like these things happen, I'm like, okay, I will never be able to top this. But then it just keeps happening. Well, a few years apart, but it's still, I'm like, bro, this is crazy. And now yet again, I feel like I'm sitting and talking for days, bro.
This is a podcast, bro. This is what we do. It's fascinating to hear, because I bet a lot of people that maybe even some people that know you and people that follow you, they don't know this. And I think that it's key information, because it's a kind of, it's a phrase as old as time. It's just hard work pays off, man. You're telling us that you're uploading every single day. Like, one of those things that attributes to Vic Star's popularity, one of the sidemen, everyone says that the reason why he is so big is because he uploaded every day for like 2 years straight. And so having that same mentality for yourself, whether it's PUBG, whether it's like uploading shorts or IRL content, like, you're still uploading daily. And so people are getting their daily Panda fix, which is what you're providing, man. And that's how you grow ultimately, because it's about consistency. You know that the name of the game when it comes to YouTube is, partly the content that you're creating and how good you are at editing and, all that kind of stuff. And the ideas have to be good, of course, and entertaining. But it's also just relentless consistency, and you just got to keep going.
Yeah, for sure.
It's true, right? I mean, how do you balance
It is true. It is true.
how do you balance the high level gaming, the gameplay content, where you're competing to win, competing to get a high amount of eliminations in games, versus the entertainment based content that you do? Because which do you prefer making at this point in time?
So I don't do a lot of like the gameplay stuff which I used to do back in the days, mainly because it was too much, pretty much. So throughout 2018 to like 2021 or something like that, I was pushing out like gameplay every single day. And me being somewhat of a perfectionist, I always wanted the gameplay to be as good as I could make it. So we were talking earlier about like esports player playing every single day and only focusing on winning. It actually was kind of similar for me, because I was only like the videos which I wanted to be masterpieces. I wanted them to be as good as I could make them in a day, of course. So what I did was I woke up and I played throughout the entire day, and then I like picked the best one through that day and I made the video on that one. And then I went to sleep. I woke up and I did the same thing again. And then I did that for like 3 years. And after a while, I'm like, okay, I am not doing anything else than this. So I'm like, okay, I have to start doing it less. So after what, let's say 3 years, uh, from uploading a gameplay every day, I started uploading like a gameplay maybe 3 4 times a week, and I started focusing more about what I loved with YouTube or making videos back in the days. It was like be more creative, so I started making more creative videos while still making the gameplay videos.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. It's just like the evolvement of like your brain can only do so much repetition, I think. Like if you did the same thing every day for 3 years, like I commend you for doing it for 3 years. I thought you were going to say like we did it for like 5 6 months, like and then you were like three
Nah,
years. I'm
nah.
like, dude, I can't eat the
Yeah,
same
it
thing
was.
twice in a row, let alone do the same thing every
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
If I put you in front of a camera and
Mm,
gave you a brand new YouTube channel and you had to get it to
mm,
1 million subs by the end of the year, what would your first thing
mm.
be? What would the first steps be that you would take?
The thing is, when it comes to subscribers, is like making shorts is without a doubt the fastest way you can get subscribers if that is your goal. The problem is with getting a lot of subscribers from shorts is that you're not really building a community. And even though you're getting a lot of subscribers, it doesn't mean that they will keep watching your videos. And if you make like you pretty much with YouTube, you have short subscribers and then you have long form subscribers and then also you have like live stream subscribers. So it's all different. So it depends on your goal. But if I would only focus on getting a million subscribers, it was like, okay, I will make shorts depending on the topic you would give me or whatever, and just get it to 1 million subscribers,
I
pretty
mean,
much.
like even with the channels of your size across all these platforms that you post on and uploading regularly, you still find time to do more, man. You create music as well. I assume it's like a passion of yours. How did that start?
Yeah. So I've always loved like just singing. And I think I can't remember when, but like I think it was like 10 years from it could potentially be more, but like what happened is like I walk around like the house or apartment, whatever, and I just sing on a song. And then all of a sudden, I forget like the lyrics. So I sing something completely different. Like I sing the song, but with other words. And I can't remember when it was, but I was like, okay, but this is so good. I have to write this down. And I wrote it on a small piece of paper and I put it somewhere. I don't know where it is. But after that moment, I was like, okay, every time I come up with something like this, I should write it down. So I did that for like months. So after a while, I'm like, okay, now I have written like close to like 70 songs or something like this, but I never made an actual song. And at the time, there was a big meme in the PUBG communities. I'm like, okay, let's just make a song about that. So I made a song about that. And then I think the second song was also some kind of a meme about PUBG. I made a song about that. And then like the third song was an actual song, which was one of those which are written like a long time ago. So that's pretty much how it started. It's just like I just walk around singing, and I'm like, this should be a song. Let's make it a song. But like you said, like I'm very busy, so sadly, I haven't really had that much time to make these songs. Especially, I've been working on one song for I think 2 years now, which is crazy. I'm like, I just want to release it, but like I never have time to make the song because that's not my top priority. I really feel like music is just like a side hobby, and there's so many other things which just comes in a way. So I'm like, whatever. But like I think we recorded the song 2 years ago, and we almost finished it in like a 2 3 months. But then since it was back in 2023, and since then we really haven't had time to work on it, so it's just been laying there. So
Yeah, from being engaged to a DJ who produces her own music, I know how much time and energy goes into creating tracks. You're going to either have to give yourself like a chunk of time off to like process it all and do it all in like one fell swoop,
yeah,
or you could be doing it forever because like you said as well earlier, you're a perfectionist and there's nothing worse than being a perfectionist and making music, honestly.
yeah, no, those not go hand in hand. It will take time
Yeah.
to release it.
We met actually for the first time at the Mobies in LA, where you won an award, the Global Impact in Mobile Gaming. Did that
Yes.
recognition have a significant impact on you? And did it, impact any strategies that you had going on forward for yourself and for your brand?
Honestly, when it happened, I was so surprised. Like, if you see the recording, I honestly did not understand what was happening. I've told this to a lot of my friends because I wasn't nominated for anything. So I was sitting there, like enjoying the show and stuff, and then all of a sudden they say my name. Yeah, and I'm like, this can't be correct. Well, but they were starting saying like a description of the person who won, like, and they said like M for Glacier. I'm like, wait, what? Like, why are they mentioning that? And then all of a sudden they said my name, and I was like, no, this can't be right. I'm like, I wasn't nominated for anything, but then for that category it was like no nominations, right? So, well, I was walking up on the stage and I didn't even know what I won. So I'm like, and I didn't prepare any like speech or anything like that. So I was literally in shock, and I told everyone there, which I was. Maybe I even told you there. Uh, but yeah, no, it was a great honor. I really felt blessed to get that reward. I'm like, that's really cool to actually have an actual award to like show for all of the work which has been put in, even though for me, like, I don't always see like making videos or mobile gaming and stuff like work. It's more like for me, it's always been a hobby, and I don't want to make it into work. Nah, I'm getting lost here, but yeah, no, it was a big honor. It impacted me in. Well, I just felt happy about it pretty much. I'm like, that's really cool.
I think it's just nice to get that recognition and again to know that you're doing something right. You're putting your content in the right direction. It's resonating with people, and like the more your channel grows, the more people and yourself, you understand that what you're doing is the right thing. And I think that as for someone at your level in the content creator space within gaming, you obviously get invited to a lot of things. You also went to the Esports Awards in Riyadh, and we spoke to someone that you met there quite recently. We spoke to
Yes.
Myrtle, and she
Yes.
uh, she told us a nice little story about you, how she dragged you out to the desert for a photo shoot or just to hang out because she wanted to see the desert. And you all hadn't slept, and we want to hear the story from your side. We need to fact check the story. How did it go? And what was it like also meeting people that have, a similar impact in their side of the industry in mobile or PC gaming?
Well, first of all, meeting someone with like meeting people in the same industry, I think it means so much to me because like that never happens. Like here in Sweden, like there's no one else. Well, we have Lavinia and Cebu, but I didn't meet them for 6 years or something like that. So I never have someone which can relate to me when it comes to these like mobile gaming and doing the YouTube stuff. And even if I meet like a YouTuber here from Sweden, they have no idea about the mobile gaming side, because like we talked about earlier, mobile gaming is not big in Sweden. So if I meet someone here in Sweden, which is a YouTuber, I always have to explain everything about mobile gaming. And yeah, it is really big. And they're like, is it? I'm like, yes, it's huge. It's bigger than PC and like console gaming. And I'm like, no way. That's always the topic. But it's so nice to meet someone like Myrtle or like the Soul Squad or whatever, because they know exactly what I'm talking about. They are in the same game. So that means a lot. What more were
Uh,
we talking about?
tell me about the shoot that you went on in the desert when
Mm,
you quad
yeah.
biked through the desert. All the guys they all wanted to go out, but you almost didn't go, but they managed to
Mm,
drag you out there. How was it? Was it fun?
yeah. So the thing is, at the time, I was extremely tired because I think the day before or something like that, I didn't really sleep much. And then this desert thing we were doing in the middle of the night because you can't be out in the desert during the day because it's too warm. So I can't remember, but she pretty much just asked me if I wanted to go, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds cool. When are you going? And it was like 2 a.m. or 3, something like that. I'm like, what? Because the problem was I was traveling back home the day after, I think. So I'm like, okay, how am I supposed to like do this? Like go the entire night without sleeping and then get back to the hotel. And I think I had time to sleep like for a few hours, but then travel back. I'm like, oh, like I don't want to do it, bro. It didn't feel, I was like, I just want to sleep. But at the same time, I know that saying yes is always like is rewarded in some way, like actually taking risks and doing stuff. So eventually I'm like, let's just do it. I don't really want to, but let's just do it. And honestly, it turned out great. Like, I would regret it if I didn't say yes. And I'm so happy that I followed along. During when we were in the desert, when we were going in the car, I wasn't tired at all. It was just fun hanging out with Myrtle and the other people. So yeah, that's pretty much the story. Then we got back at the hotel. I think it was close to like 1 p.m. or something like that. So we've been out throughout the entire night. And I get back to the hotel room and I think I set an alarm. I'm like, I need to be awake at this time or else I will not have time to pack and actually travel back. So I set that, I threw away my phone and I just fell asleep like this.
I did a similar thing to you. Was after the whole, you know, after the whole quad biking in the desert, I got back and it was the day that I left. And by the time I got home, I remember emptying my
Yeah.
suitcase and there was just sand all over my suitcase because I didn't empty my
Oh,
shoes. I didn't empty my shoes
oh
before I got into
no.
the bag. I
Oh
know, what a
no.
rookie error. But
I
I
don't
want to
feel
bring
like
it
that's a
back.
rookie mistake though. I feel like when like you're never really in the desert, right?
I mean, it's true. Like, I'll kind of take that one on the chin because it was a great experience and it was so much fun. And yeah, how many people can say that they went quad biking in the desert? I mean, that's so cool. But I
That's
kind of want to bring
awesome.
it back to, you know, the milestones that you hit throughout your career because we've spoken about the growth of your channels. We've spoken about the awards that you won as well. Is there a key milestone for you that stands out above the rest? Maybe it's when you hit 20 million subscribers on your shorts channel, or maybe it's like receiving an award at the Mobies. Like, what is it for you in particular?
So I gotten this question before. Like, what is a milestone when I look back, like, which I feel like the most proudest of, or stuff like that. And it always gets me thinking. I'm like, what is the milestone which feel like means most to me? And I always have a hard time actually pointing out. Like, yes, hitting 10 million subscribers was crazy. It was absolutely insane. But I feel like the biggest milestone in a way for me is to actually have this as a job. Because funny enough, I never had an actual job because I was blowing up on YouTube while I was still in high school. So I started like working as a full-time YouTuber the second I left school. Like the second when I was done, I was like, "Okay, well, my job is YouTube." Even though I was not making like I was making pretty much nothing, but I'm like, "This is my job and I will make it like, I will push it until I can live on it." And I feel like that's the biggest milestone for me that I've been able to do this for, I mean, as a job, close to 10 years now. And it's so ridiculous for me to say, like, I've never had an actual job. I was born, I went to school, and then I was a YouTuber.
But you see,
Nothing
Panda,
in between.
it is a real job. And I will say that to the day that I die, because I have other people telling me as well that, you're not working with your hands, you're not sweating it out, you're not in a business and you're not scaling the ladder. However, the amount of hours, the amount of time and effort and energy that you're putting into your work, your channels, it is work from the perspective of someone is that you're creating something on a daily basis. And I think that we are extremely privileged to be able to work in an industry that we're passionate about and that we love. But at the same time, like, it makes you work harder because you want to stay in this industry. And I feel the same way, being
Yeah.
able to work in esports, being able to work as a content creator, you know, it's an incredibly cool thing, but you have to work twice as hard because guess what? Everyone wants to do it. And so if
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
could do it, they would do it. So give yourself a little pat on the back for that one, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I
Yeah. Yeah.
think
For
that,
sure. For sure.
social media, right? It's a highlight reel mostly, especially with creators. But if you particularly had to overcome any obstacles in your personal areas or, any obstacles you've just had to overcome in order to, maintain your path as a YouTuber.
Like any obstacles I had to overcome?
Yeah. Do you feel like
Oof.
there's any, like, either personally or just like generally, like, obstacles you've had to overcome? Because we quite often don't see that on social media, do we? Because we provide the highlight reel of our lives,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially if
That's
we do
true. That's true.
IRL.
Yeah. I feel like it probably was when I was playing PUBG Mobile the most because like one thing which I did sacrifice, which at the time I didn't think about it, but it was like I didn't really have my a personal life, because the only thing I was doing was pretty much just doing PUBG Mobile, like playing every single day. So I did definitely sacrifice a a few years for YouTube, like that's for sure. And like I say, like obviously being a content creator, it is actual work. Like it's hard. Like but you can't really say that, because every time you say it to a friend, where oh, you're only playing games, I'm like, that's true, but like it is work. But you can never argue with someone which actually has like a normal job, because they will always have more things to say, like, well, I have to work these hours, and I'm like, that's true. Well, I can choose when I work and so on. But where were I? Yeah, like playing PUBG Mobile every single day. I would say was yeah, like a type of sacrifice, but I never feel like there was an obstacle for me, because every time I see like some kind of a problem or something, okay, this isn't working, whatever, I always find a way around it. Like I never see it as like, okay, this is gonna stop me. I'm just like, okay, how am I gonna go around this? uh, I can't
Yeah,
really.
I think I know what you're saying though, because I think
Yeah,
that from the perspective of a creator, I think that quite often, especially with people who are large creators or creators who have multiple channels, like one of the most, I think, frequent things that people come across is sacrificing social life. And then I think that if you think about someone who has a 9 to 5 job or someone who has a typical business job, they often have work colleagues are their friends. YouTubers don't often have that.
yeah,
When you grow to a certain scale, your YouTube friends or people that do YouTube as well become your friends, right? Because they understand what you do on a day to day basis. They have a similar schedule to you. So, they take free time when they need to take free time. But ultimately, you have to keep up with your channel as much as you physically can. So that's the sacrifice you make. So I
yeah.
kind of figured that you were going to answer with, I didn't really have a social life while my YouTube channel was growing, because that's what comes
Yeah, that's
with,
how it is.
that's the price you pay, right? And
Yeah.
it is quite difficult, that. And how have you seen the mobile gaming sphere, or like the being a mobile gaming content creator, how have you seen mobile games evolve and improve and grow? And like, where do you see mobile gaming going in the next few years? Because from my perspective, having worked with Brawl Stars, I work with Clash of Clans, I work with PUBG Mobile, like I have quite a varied understanding of mobile games. And the only limitation that I see with mobile games is hardware because of size, right? Everything else, I
Yeah.
think, is on par with every other game.
Yeah. So, like, one of the reasons, like I said, like earlier, like doing mobile gaming, I saw a lot of views in that on YouTube and so on. Uh, but I did question myself, like back in the day. I'm like, shouldn't I make like PC like videos instead or something like that, like games on PC? But one thing which always like kept me going, like everyone has a phone, right? So everyone can play a mobile game. Like not everyone has a console, not everyone has a PC, but everyone can play mobile games. So if they just become good enough or like playable, whatever, then everyone will play it. And we kind of saw that with Pokemon Go back in like I think 2016. All of a sudden, because everyone had a phone, everyone played it because everyone could play it. So that was kind of my mentality, and I think still is, that everyone can play mobile games, but not everyone can play console games or PC games. So I think it will just keep becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. And I feel like it has since the past, like, well, I don't know, since mobile gaming was created, I guess it just kept on going. And how I see it in the future is really hard to tell. I feel like it will just become more and more advanced. And yeah, that's
Yeah, I
how
think
I see it. And because I
so I was just going to say, I think my biggest trigger with it was when I saw PUBG Mobile, on a main stage in Indonesia. We had like 10,000 people. It was crazy. I saw like, wow, the popularity, especially out here in like, Southeast Asia is, one of its biggest markets. And then I spoke to someone who worked at PUBG Mobile, and forgive me if I'm wrong. I think it might be correct, but he said there's something like 4 billion active PUBG Mobile accounts out there. And I was like, okay, all right. So mobile gaming is bigger than PC and console probably combined. Like that's
yes, sir.
wild.
It is wild. It is definitely 4 billion though. That
Yeah.
sounds absolutely insane. But I know it's definitely over 1 billion, maybe closer to 2 billion. When it was in its prime, like when PUBG had like the most active players, yeah, it could definitely have been close to 2 billion, which is just like 2 billion. You know, when you're talking million, you're like, that's a lot, but billion is like another class.
Oh, yeah,
2 billion
totally.
active players a month. It's like, what?
Yeah, that's
How?
wild. Panda, I've got some rapid fire questions for you here. Okay, I'm going to take a
Shoot.
total of three. Okay, so nothing too crazy, but we'll kick things off easy. If you could only use one weapon in PUBG Mobile for the rest of your life, which gun would it be?
M4.
The
I don't
M4.
even need to explain
Let's hope
that.
it
This is
doesn't
the
get
M4.
nerfed.
It doesn't matter if it gets nerfed. I have the best skin in the game for that weapon.
It's about the
I will
skins, guys.
pick
He's a
that
content
every
creator.
time. Yeah.
If you could collaborate with any creator in the gaming space, who would it be?
Ooh, in the gaming space, would Mr. Beast count? He has his gaming
I
channel,
think
right?
so.
So,
Yeah, I think it would count.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
What about
I
any
yeah.
celebrity? If you could pick any celebrity to collaborate with, and you could choose how you collaborate, because I know you've got the music, so you could collaborate with a musician, or you could do it in the
Ooh.
gaming space, but with another celebrity. You know, Drake plays Fortnite, doesn't he?
Oh, that's true, that's true. Ooh, I would probably like I'm leaning it would be ridiculous, but imagine making like a PUBG Mobile video or something like with like Messi or
Oh
Cristiano
yeah,
Ronaldo. If
fair
I could pick
enough.
anyone, it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna pick one of them because
That
that
I
would
mean,
be
that's fair.
mental.
That
Yeah.
would be
They
insane.
even have a
You'd
by
break
the
the
way,
internet.
yeah. They have a Messi skin in PUBG, by the way, so it would make sense.
That definitely makes it. I wonder how much money they make having a skin in the game of just like, and they
Oh,
probably just
yeah.
like don't even know. It just makes the zeros go
Y
up in their account, and they're just like,
yeah,
"Oh, cool, that's
yeah.
fun."
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, tell us something that your fans would be shocked to learn about you. So it's like something that they don't know, whether it's a secret hobby or like a skill that you've got that people may not know about. What do you think you'd say?
Ooh, that's hard. Maybe honestly, I would kinda say, like, what would surprise them the most is that I haven't pushed it so much on my channels, but, like, my music, like, I sing a lot. Like, I think they would be kinda surprised over that, even though I made it, like, on my YouTube channel, but, like, I never really pushed the music side so much, and hopefully, in the next year or something, I will start making more music, and then they can, like, "Oh, wow, he can actually sing, or he can actually make music." So I think probably that. Yeah.
Maybe we can link one of your tracks underneath this video when it goes live. You'll have to tell us which
Yeah, I
one.
mean, the ones I posted so far, I'm like, "Ah, I don't really like them." Yeah, we can link one of them, but
That's the problem with music, isn't it? Like you love it, and then a year later, you're like, I hate that song. I experience it a lot with
yeah,
my partner.
it's
She's the same.
ridiculous.
Now,
Yeah.
you're transported back to when you first started, and you can give yourself one piece of advice. What would
Oh
you
my
say to
god.
yourself, or maybe stop yourself from doing something? I don't know. You tell me.
Oh, that's crazy. The thing is, like, I've had this thought before. I'm like, what would I tell myself? Like, in terms of like YouTube.
Yeah,
Like
sure. Yeah,
how yeah. Like, I would probably just tell myself, like, okay, you're gonna figure this out. So just go 100% now. And I will probably like give myself tips. Okay, like when shorts gets released on YouTube, just make them even earlier. The funny thing, like I started making shorts like just a few weeks after, but I didn't do them a lot. Like I made one or two a week. But I would tell myself, do 20 a week,
yeah.
21 a week, bro.
It's 21 a
Probably stuff like
week.
that. Yes, sir.
That's great. I mean, it's true though. Yeah, you got to hit the ground running with stuff. I had a similar thing with TikTok. As soon as something started snowballing, I was like, go, go, go. And you got to just
Yeah, yeah,
go
yeah.
as much as you can now. I mean, let's face it, Panda. Even though up to this point, 47 million subscribers just across 3 channels, you got even more on TikTok. You're growing on Instagram. You've got your music. The future's looking bright, buddy. What would you aspire to do in the future that you haven't already achieved? I'll give you some options, right? You could play a
Okay,
music
okay, okay.
festival. You could voice a
Woo.
character in game. You could box another creator. What are you thinking?
All of those three. at the same time. At the same time. That is content. That is
That
content.
is content right there. Who would you box then?
Yeah.
Go on. Throw out a name. We're not calling anyone out right now. Just saying. Just saying.
I am willing to box anyone that is willing to box me, which is not like, oh, I have 10 subscribers, which actually is like a content creator. I'm almost willing to throw hands with anyone.
Let's go. I
I
like
don't
that. I
have
like
any
that.
specific name. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let's leave it at that. That's cool. Dude, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk with you, man. Like, it's nice to get to know you a little bit better. I know we've met, but it's always been kind of brief in passing
Yeah.
at events and stuff. But it's nice to get to know you a bit better, and I can't wait to see what you and your team do in the future. And yeah, let us know when you're next around so that we can hang out a little bit more. But Panda, thanks so much for sharing your origin story.
No worries. Thank you for having me.